Get connected, Fitchburg. Sign up for Fitchburg Connect, the city's monthly e-newsletter that keeps you informed about all the events, services, and updates that matter to you. Get it in your inbox once a month. Sign up today to get Fitchburg Connect.
Hi, I'm Jeremy Crosby.
And I'm Nick Boucher. We're your hosts for the program that's all about your city, Talking Fitchburg.
Every weekday, we pull together the news, events, and information you need to stay on top of what's happening in the city of Fitchburg.
Find Talking Fitchburg on cable TV, Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, and our live stream on the web. Plus, you can find all our headlines and stories on Facebook, YouTube, and our video on-demand service. This is your city.
Keep up with Talking Fitchburg and the issues affecting you and your neighbors.
For March 24, 2026. The first is to call to the order to the meeting at 6:30 p.m. Please stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Next is roll call, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor Rada.
Here.
Alder Dancer Jr. is absent with excuse. Alder Gerhardt.
Here.
Alder Herbst.
Here.
Alder Jetzer.
Here.
Alder Lattice.
Here.
Alder Lepper.
Here.
Alder Maldonado.
Here.
Alder Ragsted.
Here.
You have a quorum, Mayor.
Thank you. So next is public appearances for non-agenda items and new appointments, and we have a mayoral proclamation. Is recognizing March 24, 2026 as Agricultural Day in Fitchburg. So,
whereas agriculture has shaped the identity, economy, and landscape of Fitchburg since the earliest days of settlement, when John Stoner and the early settlers like the Vroman brothers cultivated the land that would become our community, and
whereas the land that is now the city of Fitchburg had long been cared for by the Ho-Chunk Nation, whose deep understanding of the local landscape and agricultural practices established enduring traditions of land stewardship that continue to influence how the land is valued, worked, and sustained by generations who have followed, and
whereas Fitchburg's historic farmsteads and rural crossroads communities remain tangible reminders of our agricultural roots and are protected in part through the work of the city's Landmarks Preservation Commission and the Fitchburg Historical Society. And
whereas the city of Fitchburg has a unique combination of urban and rural land uses with approximately 9,000 acres of land and agricultural use that support the city's residents and economy while working to conserve soil, protect water, and respond to the challenges of a changing climate. And
whereas the city of Fitchburg values its agricultural heritage and supports the preservation of rural lands and farming traditions through planning efforts and advisory committees dedicated to agricultural and rural affairs, and
whereas agriculture continues to be a vital pillar of our national economy and National Agriculture Day, observed March 24, 2026, calls on communities like Fitchburg to recognize the essential role of farmers, ranchers, farm workers, agribusinesses, and restaurants, and
whereas the city recognizes that preserving the agricultural heritage and honoring past, present agricultural contributors helps connect future generations in the land to use one another.
now therefore I, Julia Ratafrata, Mayor of the City of Fitchburg, along with the members of the Common Council, do hereby proclaim March 24, 2026 as Agriculture Day in Fitchburg, and encourage all residents to acknowledge the contributions of agricultural producers and to reflect on the significance of agriculture in daily life. This is proclaimed today, March 24, 2026. Okay, so we are going to take a picture. We are going to invite Roger and Amy.
smile, please. Here we go.
Well, I certainly want to thank Micah for what he's done is putting this together. Certainly an important tribute to our community, which is, as you know, very diverse. We're one of the very few communities in the state that has this much diversity as far as urban and rural. My family settled here in 1854. I was fourth generation on the farm. And I after retiring, I moved back to the farm after a career that left Fitchburg and became quite active with preserving and being the voice of the ag community in Fitchburg through Ag and Rural Affairs Committee.
Yeah, so my name's Amy Johanning. I'm fifth generation on my family's farm here in Fitchburg. My family is the Canes, that my grandparents have passed away now. But I ranch out there. I raise mares and foals. I compete in barrel racing, and we farm a lot of ground. So we make a lot of alfalfa and a few row crops, although we're transitioning to more hay. And I serve on the Agriculture and Rural Affairs Committee with Micah. We're so thankful that he brought something like this to the Common Council because I think about 50% of Fitchburg is still rural and farmland. So thank you for recognizing us. We're still out there doing the work. And yeah, so thank you. Thank you. Okay, sick. Thank you.
Is we are going to recognize some promotion in the fire in the Fitchburg Fire Department. We are going to recognize Matt Sutter, promotion from lieutenant to battalion chief. Jeremy Brueggemann, promotion from firefighter to lieutenant, and Austin Lynch from promotion from pay-on-call firefighter to career firefighter. Here we have some of them, and the chief is going to say some words. And thank you for the rest of the crew to come.
All right, good evening, everybody. So, a very positive night. We are here to recognize 3 promotions. First off, I want to say all 3 of these folks have worked really hard to get to this point in their career. First, we want to recognize Austin Lynch. He's been with Fitchburg for 2 years, and he has just transferred from a paid-on-call firefighter to a career firefighter. So, congratulations, Austin. Next, we have Jeremy Brueggemann. Sorry, he's been with Fitchburg for 22 years, and he's promoted from firefighter to lieutenant. And then last is Matt Sutter, who is promoting from lieutenant to battalion chief, and Matt has been with it for 19 years. Again, I would just want to thank these guys for all the hard work, the dedication they have for the fire department, and all that they do each day. So.
Okay, congratulations, guys.
Ready? Here we go.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, so next is item 5 is the consent agenda.
I move approval.
Second.
Any question, comments? All those in favor of the consent agenda say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. So next we move to item 6, administrator's report.
Good evening, everyone. With the warmer weather, community gardens application process has opened. We have moved that online into, I believe, our OpenGov system. Anybody who had an existing garden plot last year has an opportunity to renew that plot before they open up to the rest of the public on April 3rd. So I encourage anybody that has an existing plot to hit the city's website and get their plot reserved if they like to keep it for this upcoming season. And for those that are interested who have not had a plot, April 3rd for new gardeners as a friendly reminder. The library is transitioning to a new software, I believe, for checkout through the South Central Library System. That is going to happen the week of April 13th and is going to lead to the closure of the library for at least one day while that new software application is implemented. And the library will be sharing additional information as that date gets a bit more closer with the public so that they are aware of some limitations during that time period. I wanted to let the Common Council know that the city has submitted 3 requests to Senator Baldwin's office for congressionally directed spending. Those 3 requests specifically are remodel and expansion of the senior center kitchen, the water or spray feature at Southdale Park, and for the teen center. The latest information on the consideration of potential consolidation with the Village of Oregon for a fire and EMS district. The city and village held interviews yesterday with some of the vendors who had proposed services in response to our RFP, and we are moving forward with one of the vendors selected, and I need to get some communication out to our public safety chiefs and elected officials on that topic as far as who we look to be moving forward with. Our hope is that we will be able to have a contract negotiated over the next couple of weeks, and that in April, the Common Council will have an agenda item to consider and ideally approve that contract, and we'll look to move forward with the study. Yeah, go ahead.
Question in regard to that. I know us and the Village of Oregon are the only 2 that have submitted, that have actually paid funds for that study. Will the study focus just on our 2 municipalities, or will it also include the other ones that have expressed interest but have not committed funds?
Yeah, the study will focus on the municipalities who have contributed funds. There will be an opportunity during contract negotiation if one of the municipalities who has been participating in the conversations to date would like to be an active participant in the study. They will have that opportunity to do so, and then we would work with the vendor to determine what the additional cost would be for those municipalities that may wish to participate. And we do have at least a verbal agreement for the participating municipalities that the overall cost of the study will be cost share based on population of the municipalities participating.
That makes sense. And then this would be a fire and EMS district?
Correct. That's what we've asked for them to explore and create a roadmap for the Common Council to consider.
Thank you.
Yep. And then the last item I have is just a reminder in regards to in-person absentee voting. That started today and continues during regular business hours through April 3rd, although we are available until 5 p.m. on April 3rd for in-person absentee voting. And that will be held in the Fitchburg room in the community center. So there is some signage up in City Hall as you walk in directing you off to take 2 rights and then a left. So any questions for me in regards to the administrator's report or anything else?
Go ahead, Logan.
I was just going to ask if we have an update on the timing of the Fitch-Rona Road construction project. I know that we've been stuck in kind of the land acquisition phase.
Yeah, we are still working through some land acquisition components of that project and looking to get those resolved in the next few weeks here, and ideally get that project out to bid soon thereafter. That's the latest information that I have on it. It sounds as though the land acquisition progress has improved recently, so hopefully we'll be able to get that wrapped up in the next couple of weeks.
Public Works, the bid should go out here shortly. Award by the end of April, and then part of the going to do half of the construction this year. I'm not touching anything, Scott. Half of the construction from Nesbitt to approximately Lacey, this year, and the second half, the Tonto Trail will occur the following year.
Once we have that timeline locked down, is that something, Chad, we could get added to the project page on the website? Because right now there isn't as much of a timeline on there.
Yeah, we certainly can do that.
Perfect, thank you.
Any other questions at all?
No? Okay. So next we move to the mayor's report. So I have a couple of things to share. One is that I am pleased to share that Fitchburg has been officially recognized for the third year as a tree city of the world. This recognition comes from the Arbor Day Foundation and the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, honoring cities that are leading the way in building and maintaining a strong urban tree canopy. Fitchburg is now part of a global network of 283 cities across 24 countries, and notably one of the 76 cities receiving this recognition. So it's to be one of 283 in the whole world is a great, recognition. So what is a healthy urban canopy can do? It can reduce costs for energy, stormwater management, and erosion control, increase property values and strengthen community connection, enhance city pride, lower rates of asthma, especially in children, provide relief from summer heat, improve air quality, and reduce noise pollution. So I want to say thank you to Anna Healy that she's continued to, to always looking for grants, always to increase our canopy, and always trying to improve our, forestry. So congratulations, and this is a great recognition for the city. The other thing is I participated in a couple of ribbon cuttings, and some of you attended too, so I want to say thank you for that. So the Madison Reading Project is moved from Madison to Fitchburg. So they are growing and expanding. So that one is great. It's a very well-known not-for-profit, and I am very happy that they choose Fitchburg to expand. And also a new business on the former Benvenuto location is the Fairway Lounge. That we did a ribbon cutting when it was last week. Yes. So congratulations to them. The other thing that I want to mention is that we already sent the cancellation from 2 of the flock cameras. And this is something that we are going to continue working with Chad and the chief because there are 2 other cameras that the renewal is one at the end of 27, but we are trying to see if we can cancel those cameras this year and also determine what is the alternative technology for that. The other thing that I am working with the police department is updating the language in Lexipol on the immigration section. If people ask you about what is the city policy, there is I don't know if you are aware, in the website, there is a page under the police department under the accountability section, there is an immigration page. So if someone asks you, you can send it to that page, okay? That's it for now. Oh, I have more. Sorry. And also, I want to recognize a couple of businesses that they are the 2026 top workplaces, and we have a couple of Fitchburg companies. In the large category, Grace Hospice Care is one of them, Serco, then, of course, Wagner CPAs, so I had to mention my employer. Communication Innovation, the Pediatric Therapy Center that is located in Fitchburg too. The Alexander Company, Tri-North Builders, that's it. So I want to say congratulations to be nominated as one of the top places to work. And also, I want to share with you, there is an article in the Madison magazine that talk about housing and affordability. And it mentioned what are the 4 L's that they are the factors that are impacting construction projects. And those one are land, lumber, labor, and lending. So if you wish, I can scan this article and send it to you because it talks about the Madison region and also mention Fitchburg because one of the issues that the labor is a lack of skilled trade workers like carpenter, plumbers, and electricians. That are also affecting construction costs. And they mentioned the Mackenzie Regional Workforce Center that is open in Fitchburg in July of 23. And something interesting is that this is a partnership between the Madison Area Builders Association and the Boys and Girls Club of Dane County that aims to offering training to connect Dane County youth to the skilled trades. I think by the end of 2025, more than 6,000 youth participated in the center program. So this is a good number. So I want to share that with you. Oh, and next week, March 31st, is the Efficiency Navigator press event with the City of Madison. It will be on Tuesday, March 31st from 10 to 11 in Madison, where we are going to do a press release with what we have done with the Efficiency Navigator in both cities. Any question, comments? Nope? Okay. So next we are moving to commission, committees, and reports. So we are going to start with Plan Commission.
I'll start with the resolutions. I'll move approval of Resolution R6026, granting an exception to Section 6223.7.1 of Wisconsin statutes to allow a community-based residential facility on property associated with lots 1 and 2 of CSM 3598 in the city of Fitchburg, Dane County, Wisconsin.
Second.
Plan Commission approved. This is the same. You may recognize this language. This is the same as we did with the Grace facility a couple months ago. This is for a community-based residential facility that's Trinity? Trilogy, thank you. Trilogy. It's in the new development that we had a pre-application a couple months ago that I told you a little bit about. It is a multiple types of housing. It's like a full service from assisted living up to memory care, all the different types. But for 56 of the units that are community-based residential facilities, there's high level of care, specifically assisted living, require this exception. By state statute, greater than 1% of population can't be a CBRF by statute. It was written 50 years ago before the senior population of Wisconsin grew. So it will be 1.99% in District 3 after this approval.
Okay. Any question, comments? No? Okay. All those in favor of resolution R-6026 say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Next one.
I'll move approval of resolution R7826, approving preliminary plat request PP 263526 by Christopher Gosch, agent for Nine Springs Hills, Inc., to approve a preliminary plat to create 45 parcels, including 40 buildable lots, on property described as Lot 3 of CSM 3535 and Lots 1 and 2 of CSM 3598 on County Highway MM. Approved as amended by Plan Commission.
Second.
Thank you for that clarification.
What is this?
So this goes along with the one before it, but this is the syncopation development, the preliminary plat for it. Obviously, there'll be a final plat that would come. There's also going to be a rezone. Right now, it's under a PDD, but it's a PDD for the old project that was on the land. We'll have to do a rezone to a new PDD SIP for this specific. It's a challenging area. But they did get kind of like a Trinity, which I just mentioned is a partner in the project. That's going to be probably the first thing to go in. And there's really no substantial changes, and we talked about it at the pre-application. This is going to have about 30 to 35 owner-occupied single-family homes, 40 rental and owner-occupied townhomes, 312 mixed-use multifamily rental with potential for affordable units. And then that trilogy continuum of care, for the specifics there are 17 independent living, 40 assisted living, 16 memory care, 46 skilled care. This is a former landfill with construction debris, and it's a complex place to develop. They are in discussion about TID support for the project. There are no desirable trees by the tree, the tree survey requirement with preliminary plats. There's no desirable trees that were identified, but they will protect any viable trees, even if they aren't technically defined as desirable trees. The plan does call for a north-south road connecting to Lacey Road, which we had some discussion about that. Will require some coordination with the other landowner just to provide potential for that in the future. There will be a multi-use path underpass that has been in the works for a while, and we have federal grant money to do that, and that is moving forward, and the timing is actually quite good now that we're looking at this. There is some parkland in the plan. It's between the multifamily units. They're actually planning to potentially have 150 person amphitheater for music and gatherings, which would be pretty interesting and a unique public space. And this passed unanimously in Plan Commission.
Thank you. And we have Mark Fairchild and Christopher Gosh online. So, Mark, do you want to add anything else?
No, I believe Alder Gerhard did a very nice job explaining the project, but both myself and Chris are available if anyone has any questions at this time.
Thank you. Diana, do you want to add anything else?
No, not from myself this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so questions, comments. This is your opportunity. Who is that? Okay, Dave, and then Bill.
Mark, what's your time frame?
Provided everything stays on track as it has been, we would hope to begin, mass grading at some point this June, maybe into July. So this summer is what we're looking for groundbreaking.
Thank you.
Okay, Bill.
Yeah, I kind of like this development, but I'm going to sound like I don't. We've got, there's an awful lot of good stuff here. The city has passed a sustainability plan, and there's, transportation-related goals and energy efficiency-related goals in there. And so I just want to ask, we've got goals to reduce vehicle miles traveled, increase public transit use, and, reduce greenhouse gas emissions by 48% in the transportation sector as compared to 2022, by 2030. So I guess, how does this development help toward those goals? Do you foresee people being able to live car-free, or families that would normally have one car get by with one, or two cars get by with one? Are you going to have B-cycle station in your development? And what's your vision for Madison Metro, Route 65? Goes right past there, and hopefully will be promoted to all-day service in the near future. And then, are you considering a car share?
Yes, I'll take those sort of one at a time here. Yes, we are looking into car share. That's probably the one that is we're least down the path with, but it is something that we are exploring, and something that I'm familiar with as a multifamily operator. Regarding B-cycle, that came up at Plan Commission, and we are very open to that, and we are in some background conversations about bringing that to the site, and that will be part of a meeting we actually had earlier today to bring the mixed-use path through the site and actually potentially take it off of MM for safety purposes. That is still in discussions with city staff, but with that, we'll be connected, to the Capital City Trail system. I do envision that there would be opportunities for people to, bike to work, ride share, the bus route. Those are all discussions that are happening and are, opportunities that we're looking to include as part of this development. So I hope that answers your question, at least in some broad terms. A lot of those specifics are still being worked out, but we share a similar vision with that.
Okay. Yeah, I guess maybe a note for Plan Commission. I don't know if we can try and put some actual metrics around this in projects going forward, try and quantify our progress towards some of these goals would be great if doable. So I guess then in terms of energy efficiency, we've also got goals to reduce our natural gas use by 30%, increase our renewables, and reduce fossil fuels overall by 50% by the year 2050. So I guess, are you planning on providing gas service to to all the buildings in this development, or will you go fully electrified and fossil fuel free?
That is still part of the multifamily planning. There will need to be gas service to the site for some of the product types. However, green and energy efficiency is one of the most paramount things to our group. So we've been looking at things programmatically across the site to reduce, stormwater retention, impervious surfaces, how we secure and seal the building envelopes, energy efficient HVAC systems. And we're actually looking at some fairly innovative solutions with that right now that would be a little bit ahead of the area, I should say, in terms of storing energy and during off-peak times. So all of those things are in consideration and are in my opinion paramount to the design of the multifamily. But that process is in its early stages, but very high priority across the entire development.
If you had to try and put a number on it, it sounds like you're planning on, you mentioned building envelope enhancements. Can you quantify in any way how much you will be exceeding code minimum with these buildings?
May defer to Chris a little bit on this one.
Yeah, so let me jump in here with a couple comments. So just taking a quick step back to gas service, we do need to provide gas at a minimum to Trilogy. They will have a emergency generator on there that will be natural gas fired versus having a diesel storage tank on there. So gas service for that. In terms of the
What happened? We can't hear you anymore.
Who was talking? Christopher?
Christopher, we can't hear you anymore.
Okay.
I can jump back in a little bit until Chris
Okay.
comes back.
Okay.
So, is that you, Chris? I'm sorry. So yes, there would need to be, it would be really tough to put, a true number on what that would be at this point. But we are, every step of the way, there are some things that will require it, like Chris was saying with the emergency backup generator for our senior living partner. And some, building systems for multifamily are far more efficient still from natural gas. But we are considering pretty heavily some alternatives as part of that. Like I said, we're looking at a battery backup system for HVAC within the multifamily that would store, energy during non-peak times when the grid is not overloaded or stressed, which would ultimately reduce, that impact by potentially up to 30%. And that is something that we're looking into being in a pilot program for as part of the multifamily development portion of this project.
Are you planning on solar PV systems?
We have explored some solar options that has not, right now with the size of it, what those would actually look at. It would be supplemental. So that is on the table. I can't say that it is something that we have explored greatly just because of the other factors and constraints of the site.
Okay, so you're done?
I think I've probably monopolized enough time.
Okay, who's next?
Thank you for the questions.
Who's next? Mike, okay.
Quick question. I keep reading or keep saying that this is sitting on a former landfill. Just to clarify, this is a construction debris site, correct? Not a traditional landfill that people would think of?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, there's construction fill in the site. So crushed concrete up to potentially 36 by 36 pieces that would need to either be crushed on site and reused for fill. Some of it will need to be trucked out, and then on the north edge of the site, there is some rebar and some geotechnical concerns that we have to navigate, as part of this entire process.
Okay.
But no, there's not traditional landfill waste in it, like you might think when you hear that term.
Yeah, I got that. I just clarifying for the public or anyone who's interested.
No, I appreciate you clarifying that.
And then I guess just a comment. I love this project. This is I'm gonna say this trilogy.
Yes.
We tend to, or just not necessarily just in Fitchburg, but elsewhere, we look at a deficit of senior housing and then we just build a big giant senior housing development somewhere and plop it down wherever it fits. And this is a senior housing development with an entire continuum of care in it that is then going to sit next to apartments and townhomes and single family homes and mixed use retail space.
Mm-hmm.
That is the mix that we're talking about when we're talking about building communities within the city. And so I love that. The seniors that are in this building from the continuum of care are going to be next to families and kids running around, and that's fantastic. And so I appreciate the design, and I'm excited to see it move forward.
Who is next?
Thank you.
Okay.
Logan was next.
Okay, Logan, go ahead.
I just had one question for Deanna, I believe, would be the best person for this. So if we're looking just beyond the boundaries of this site, if we're looking at running the multi-use path west of MM in some capacity, there's one small triangle of property between where this syncopation development ends and the Capital City Trail. So I'm curious if there will be any effort, or if you're aware of any conversations to fill that last couple 100 feet, or if we'll have a trail that just kind of dead ends at the property line and leaves us, just enough room to kind of hop and skip and jump over.
No.
Yeah, staff actually met this morning, excuse me, to discuss that. The intention is not to leave a dead end. We might have to swing around and for a temporary situation to swing around onto the MM right of way and just do a larger sidewalk as a temporary connection. You're right. There's a triangle property to the north that is not slated for redevelopment right now. Staff will work with the developer and work to make sure we don't leave a dead end trail.
Thank you.
Okay, David.
Mike, the property, you're right, is construction debris. I've ridden by there for almost 40 years on my bike. I watched it fill up. There's barrels. It's kind of a nasty mix. And for Mark to move forward with this proposal, he had to put smaller buildings, because you couldn't put such a large building on an unstable base. So that was one of one of the things they had to work through, and it works out well. We want more single-family homes, and so these are smaller versus a lot bigger buildings in the front where the memory care, those are bigger. It's better conditions there. So I just wanted to add that.
Yeah, thank you. Cool.
Any other question, comments?
I had one.
Okay, Bill, the last one.
Yeah. So explain the road that would go presumably roughly parallel to Double M down to Lacey. What's the story with that?
Oh, the connection?
Deanna, can you comment on that?
Yep, so this is long planned, right from the Northeast Neighborhood Plan and Intercom Plan, to have a public road that would parallel MM and go north-south or south-north as kind of a minor collector through both sites, both the Syncopation and the Osborne property to the south. Staff has been working with the Osborne property to the south. They're looking at doing some changes to the future land use plan. And so as part of that discussion, we're working together with Syncopation, Osborne, and staff to identify the proper layout for that north-south road.
Yeah. Deanna, can you clarify if my recollection is correct that the roadways within the Syncopation development will not be publicly owned? Those will be privately owned?
Yep, actually, there will not be any public utilities other than the water line. The stormwater, any park space, the roadways will all be private in the Syncopation property, just due to the additional challenges of the fill.
Thank you. Any other question, comment? Okay, here. Anything? So we're moving with, this one is resolution. All those in favor of resolution R-78-26, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Thank you. Okay, next one.
I move approval of resolution R-79-26, request by Sarah Church, agent for Green Tech Land Company LLC, to obtain final plat approval to allow the subdivision of 2 lots into 12 new parcels, including 6 buildable lots on property located off East Sherrill Parkway and Lacey Road.
Second.
As amended by Plan Commission. The Plan Commission did pass this. This is in the Nine Springs area. This has actually been referred to in the past as the 7th addition to Nine Springs, but because the Lido Apartments and Life Point moved forward earlier, that became the 7th addition to Nine Springs, and so now this is the 8th edition. It is all smart code, so this is the last time it'll come through council. The rest will be through staff approvals, and this is all going to be T5, which is the highest density multifamily mixed use. We had a long conversation in Plan Commission about stormwater. There was originally going to be a regional stormwater pond in this area, but the total cost of that facility was going to be prohibitively expensive for the developers in the area, both this property and also the No Oaks Ranch. So a decision was made to create smaller ponds to have the same impact, but for a much more reasonable cost of development. And they are working with the No Oaks folks in order to coordinate on the stormwater in the region. And then the development vision, this is going to be similar to the Talon buildings with the clubhouse facility, if you're familiar with that. There will be mixed use on Lacey Road, retail with residential above. There is some discussion about a grocery store, the early discussions there. It'll be rentals, about 60 units per building, about 4 stories high is kind of what they're generally looking at, although, as I said, the approvals will come through staff. The townhomes will be configured such that they can turn into condo ownership in the future, but the townhomes specifically. There will be a plaza that's kind of a community gathering space on Central Park, meant to be kind of a town square area with retail surrounding it. And this passed Plan Commission.
Okay, so Sarah Church is online and Chris Armstrong is here. So Chris, do you want to add anything else to this?
Evening, Chris Armstrong, 5803 Auburn Drive, representing Avante Properties, the developer here. I appreciate that, Gabriella, that largely summed it up. This plat has been in front of you before with the intention of a regional detention pond, and over a handful of years we've found the solution, hopefully that we can work out with our neighbors to the north. We're still kind of working through that agreement. But I think that timing-wise, we're hoping to be under construction on this road yet this year, finish it up this fall, which would allow us to continue with our buildings next spring. So that's our plan for the plat. I did want to clarify on the grocery store that that is a piece of property outside of this plat that's under contract. Immediately at the first intersection, when you get off at Lacey Road, there's 10 acres there that the grocery store developer has under contract with us. So, I think Mike C's working with them and hopefully moving that project down the line as well. So,
thank you. Comments, questions? Logan.
All right, so I have a couple on this one here, so bear with me. One of them I think was already answered, Chris, in your plan commission and in the submittal about your timeline. And I had wanted to clarify that because what I don't want to see is for us to put, for you to put the roads in, then sign them over to us, and then them to sit empty for 5 years like we're seeing with Green Market Place and Golden Gate Pass. And then we're sitting there plowing roads that are for essentially not being used. So I appreciated the clarification that there will be some development moving forward starting in 27. One concern I would like to make sure is addressed as we move forward with this is that there is some pedestrian and bicycle connectivity maintained at all times between the railroad tracks and Lacey. Right now, you've got the Lido going across the street, so the sidewalk is closed and the bike lane is closed. There's been some, I don't know what utility work is going on next to your building at the corner of Sherrill and Lacey on that northwest corner, so that sidewalk was closed. So the only pedestrian path for a little bit there was the path that is proposed to be rerouted at the Central Park and Holmes Street roundabout. So I just don't want to see all of those closed at once because not only is it on my running route, so I'm a little biased here, but I know I see a lot of people out there that I just would really be frustrated to see no connectivity, especially because then the only other connectivity east of the railroad tracks is Green Market, which is also seeing quite a bit of construction traffic because of UW Health and because of the Lido. So I'm just asking that we prioritize maintaining at least one uninterrupted access for pedestrians and for bicyclists somewhere in that corridor so that there is that connectivity maintained. And then the last question I had was partially related to this plat and partially to the No Oaks plat that we'll be discussing later, so I'll just ask it now. And this might be a Deanna question. Do we have any updates on the potential signalization of Central Park and Lacey? Just with the additional traffic that we expect from these two developments and others that we've already approved, it's getting to be an issue that I know folks have reached out to me about, especially last year with Sain closed.
I don't have any updates on that specifically. I know that our public works departments are looking at that. We're working through some traffic impact analysis to determine what that need is and when it does need to be installed. I can tell you it's on the radar.
Okay, thank you. Any other question? Bill?
Chris, you may have been in the room just a few minutes ago. So I guess all of the questions I asked the other developer, I will ask to you as well. In addition, this is Smart Code T5. This is the most urban. In both T5 and T4, the prioritization is supposed to be pedestrians over bikers, over transit, over cars. How are you implementing that priority in this development?
I mean, I think it's embedded in Smart Code. It's pedestrian, building fronted form that creates that urban form on the sidewalk, and I think that's the whole concept of smart code is pedestrian friendly, bike friendly. So and we got to follow the rules of smart code. So I think it's for all the criticism of smart code, I think that there's a lot of benefits to it in its consistency and its pedestrian friendliness. From the get-go, the first group we worked with was Wisconsin Bike Fed to integrate bikes into the neighborhood, and I think you see that with Logan's comments about don't shut my paths down because they're very popular. So I think we've done a lot. We've got an e-bike state. We got a couple of e-bike stations. I think it's at the core of the code.
Okay, I guess if I was 25 years younger and my kids were little, would I feel comfortable leaving them outside to play by themselves and not get, run over by a car, for instance? That's the kind of pedestrianized spaces I'm interested in. Places where it's quiet, it's pollution-free, it's safe.
I think there's places in Uptown that you can do that. I think there's places near the roads where I wouldn't. So, there's roads there. They're there. So.
Okay. So I guess maybe back to some of the earlier stuff. Sustainability plan. Are you? Again, this is T5. This is the most urban. This should be the most walkable. Should be the fewest cars per capita. Do you foresee people being able to live here car-free or one car instead of two? And will you have a B-cycle station and a car share system?
By the nature of the TOD, which gives us the extra density, above even the baseline smart code T5. We have, the city through their leadership has designed a future transit stop in Uptown, and it's maintained the rail corridor for that purpose. How that is achieved is going to be an impressive feat, but the intention is there. We've got bus stops, we certainly have tenants that don't have cars and utilize the transit that's available to them. I think the thought is at least there.
Okay, I'd like to hear that. And then in terms of energy efficiency, in construction of these buildings, are you planning on exceeding code? Are you planning on electrifying? I guess this whole area seems like it would be a good candidate for a district-wide thermal energy network.
Yeah. When you asked that question before, I hadn't really thought of any direct intentional plans, but I'll say that in our last two buildings, we've switched from individual gas meters to a single gas meter. And the reason why we did that is based on our historical gas bills of our tenants. The $25 per month meter charge from MG&E is more than the gas that our tenants are using. So, that just quantifies how little gas our tenants are using on a monthly basis, based on our construction methods and the ability to live in an apartment style where you're sharing some of that heat.
And how about solar PV systems?
We haven't looked into that as of now, but certainly something I could learn more about.
Okay. And I'll just point out, I sent a message to Chris earlier today, among other people, that there's a webinar coming up about the new PSC rules on individual meters in multifamily. So I think that kind of opens the door to more multifamily with solar.
Okay, thank you. Mike?
Quick question. You mentioned, or Gabriella mentioned, that there is a plan for some sort of plaza, central gathering space kind of thing. Can you just kind of tell me where on here that's intended to go, and also kind of what your plan is for that?
It's not in this plat area. It's contemplated to be mid-block of the south block of Central Park, south of Lacey, before you get to Green Market. So Central Park has got some additional angled parking built into it. And so when it was always intended to be the high street of retail when the demand catches up here. So somewhere mid-block, and I think I mentioned at Plan Commission that I think that's a worthy planning exercise for the city and ourselves. And I think Mike Z has a uptown steering committee, for that exact purpose. And I'd like to see that continue to move forward. Some examples in the area that I mentioned before was the Middleton Town Square. So I think I think we need one of those in Fitchburg, and it's contemplated within a neighborhood and smart code. So it belongs one way or another, and I think we should plan it out the right way and try to create as much retail activity around it.
Thanks.
Thank you. Any other question? Comments? Nope. Okay, so all those in favor of resolution R7926, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries. Okay, thank you, Chris.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good evening.
Mayor, I'll move approval of resolution R8026, approving final plat request FB 263226 by Michelle Burse, agent for No Oaks Ranch LLC, to approve a final plat to allow the subdivision of 14 lots, including 3 buildable lots in the No Oaks Ranch neighborhood. And this was postponed.
Second.
So did the Plan Commission approve?
Plan Commission approved.
Did the Park Commission approve?
Park Commission approved.
Okay. What is this, Gabriela?
So this is the first final plat of the No Oaks area. We did a preliminary plat recently for the entirety of the area, but this is just a portion of it. There will be more final plats to come as the development continues, similar to what we've seen with Terravesa. There are 3 lots moving forward. All of them are T5 lots, so that's the highest density in Smart Code. And again, because this is Smart Code, we won't see this again. This will go through staff approvals going forward. 1 lot has already had a CSM for Corey Frank, which is one of the multifamily buildings that we talked about earlier this year. There are 11 outlots. 5 and 11 are for future development. There are 3 for stormwater and environmental corridor. There's 1 for public dedication of open space and future transportation uses. Could be a transit stop along the railroad. There are 2 for parkland. The ones that have lots of forest and trees are the ones that are dedicated to parkland. And there's also an outlot for future mailboxes. There's a ton of wetland on the property, and so that was a part of the discussion as well. There's a wetland 1 ditch that will remain. 2 and 4 are technically wetlands, but they've been farmed and they're not high quality wetlands, so they'll purchase wetland mitigation credits to develop those. And then just a clarification from staff that wetlands cannot be considered park dedication for that criteria. There will be a multi-use path through the property along the drainage way. And overall, just to note that this is a pretty complex plat and process to date. They will plan to start with multifamily development to start, as I mentioned, and then future approvals, which will have to have future final plats, will have single-family homes, townhomes, and also ownership opportunities. But the beginning will be multifamily. The general plan is infrastructure put in this summer, and then development would be in 2027, 2028, depending on the market. And this passed Plan Commission.
Thank you. Phil Spune is online. Phil, do you want to add anything else to this project?
Here to answer any questions you may have. I think from a development standpoint, the plan is to get started this summer. with the first phase. Have some of the parcels available either late fall or early this spring. But I think we've done a really good job of modifying the previous Article 3 to make this a better plat for smart code and accommodating a better efficiency of multifamily building. And we've also, it's not just all T5 as well. There's probably 130, 140 lots, I think, that will be in future phases. Single family lots, there'll also be townhouses. So there'll be quite a mix. There won't be as many units as Terravesa, but I think that it'll certainly meet the smart code effort and mission to provide a variety of housing options for residents.
Thank you. Dave.
Phil, do you need any dirt there? You know, we have a project in my neighborhood, mountains of dirt they're trying to get rid of. I didn't know if you needed any for roads or anything. Get a hold of Jeff Huntley, that's developing the Wingrove property. Okay.
Okay, any other question, comments?
Yeah.
Oh, Peter.
Phil, I don't know if you've been paying attention. Same kind of questions. I guess in particular, this one, this area does not have a bus that currently goes past it. What's your plan for transit? You're muted. Oh, no, now we hear you.
There we go. Originally, Terravesa wasn't set up for bus travel either, and they came along after the fact. We'll certainly be able to accommodate it where Public Works would like to put a station perhaps in later phase or in the early phases. I think that's just part of the communication with Public Works and planning with Deanna. So we can certainly have discussions about that as time goes on.
Okay, well, I mean, again, it's, you know, the prioritization should be pedestrians over bikes, over transit, over cars. And I see a good road network here, so I can see where the cars are going. I'd like to know how, you know, how are pedestrians being prioritized over everyone else?
Well, I don't know if you'd call it prioritization, but they certainly are, there's sidewalks throughout the neighborhood. We've got a pretty extensive bike ped path that was, I really wanted to make sure that we had the entire neighborhood served with that, because I'm finding over the many years that people are tending to use the paths more than they use the parks. So I think that at the end of the day, I mean, obviously we can't accommodate everybody, just being honest. But I think that we want to make sure that wherever people walk in the neighborhood, they have safe passage, and they will have that.
I saw some commercial in the plans here. On average, how long would it take for somebody to walk to the commercial? I guess just, you know, overall in the plat. Are we talking about a 5-minute walk or a 15-minute walk?
Well, we haven't measured that, frankly, but I think even from the most northerly portion up there, it would probably be a 10 to 12, 14-minute walk.
And it'll be a comfortable and safe walk?
Pardon?
A comfortable and safe walk?
Yeah, there's sidewalk.
Absolutely. There's sidewalks on both sides of every street. There is a bike ped path that runs right through the environmental corridor from the park down to on the north side where the tree stand is, all the way up to Central Park Place, and hopefully Chris will have a grocery store for people to go to.
Okay. Logan.
And as I pull up my notes here, I'll just point out that about a block southeast of this plot is a bus stop on Route 65 at Lacey and Central Park. And I have seen people use that stop, even though there are no buildings within a block currently. So that is, people are voting with their feet already, even before we've expanded that to all-day service.
Yes.
So I guess I'll also ask Phil the same question, if you've been paying attention, that I asked Chris Armstrong earlier too, about kind of the lot build-out timeline, for the same reason, not wanting to have to plow roads and paths that are not being heavily utilized, and also then I think about long-term construction impacts. If we put something in, people are going to start using it right away, and then if we have to close it every year or every other year because of construction, I would think it's better to not get too far ahead of our skis, which I think this seems to be a good balance, but I was just hoping you could speak to that.
Well, yes, we've been working on the phasing plan, and we've been talking with the city about the direction they'd like to, or they would prefer to go with the phasing. I don't think you're going to find anything sitting based on the interest in these parcels. So that won't be an issue. I know we've had one issue, or not one issue, but we've had one large parcel at Terravesa towards the entry that I'm hoping that this year they're going to be starting. But it is more of a specialized use with multifamily and life estate and memory care, et cetera. But these, I don't think you're going to see any real delay that you'd be plowing the streets more than, certainly not more than one winter.
Are we situated with the location of the multi-use path is it generally going to be through that outlot, kind of paralleling the existing stormwater easement?
Yes, and it's there's a 75-foot buffer, I believe, to that, with any, wherever it's classified as wetland in there.
Okay.
But it does go the entire length.
Okay. And then the last question I had was more, I think, for Deanna, maybe Phil as well. That lot that we approved the CSM for, I'm curious what the current status of that is. Because we approved the CSM to get it ahead of this, and it seems like that may have been premature, but that's neither here nor there. And to the second point, as I had made some comments, Deanna, to you by email before, one of the things that I have concern about with that specifically, and would relate to this plat, is that is right now it's a larger multi-story apartment building, and the only access would be onto Central Park Place. A, they're having to extend Holmes Street to their property boundary anyway, and B, there's no connectivity there. And I know, Deanna, you had mentioned some of the grades were challenging, but I do have still some concerns about that and how it interacts with this plat, because we're putting all of that traffic onto kind of the more significant of the two roads through the neighborhood, rather than putting it onto Holmes Street. And I know that there's some smart code things that we have to be mindful of there as well. But I'm just kind of curious if one or both of you could speak to that, and how it kind of interacts with the plat that we've got here tonight.
Let me chime in on that, Deanna. I think we're still working through a few things with the developer, with the buyer. I will tell you that unless Holmes Street goes in, there will be no construction on that CSM lot.
And I will just jump in here too. We did push ahead with the CSM in order to allow an early start to construction. And this is not unusual that we might allow construction to start on a large multifamily project before all of the roadways surrounding it are in, as long as there is adequate access for emergency services and water. We do oftentimes, doesn't oftentimes goes to council, but we often do an early start approval to allow a major construction project to move forward. They would not be able to proceed to opening the building or leasing the building until Phil and the Holmes Bobberschmidt team with No Oaks had completed the roadway network.
Okay, that's it.
So I guess then the question I still have is, if there's no access via something like Outlot 2, again, we're still kind of putting all that traffic onto Central Park Place, and everything that's coming through the neighborhood is going to eventually funnel onto Central Park Place as it is. But I do have some concerns about not having access from that CSM approved lot onto Holmes Street, just for the number of units that would be all congregating on one spot. That's kind of been the one sticking point I have with this plat, is just the interaction between that CSM and this.
I think you have a good point. We can have our Public Works team take a look at a basic traffic analysis to see if funneling for that one multifamily onto with one entrance and exit of that first multifamily building onto Central Park Place is going to cause a traffic problem. There is a possibility, depending on grades, to maybe look at another driveway off Home Street, but we'll have to take a look a little bit more on the traffic analysis. It's on some real numbers.
Thank you.
Okay, any other question, comments? Bill, last one.
This is probably for Deanna. What do you envision for like total number of, or total population or total number of dwelling units in this area at full build out? And like, how far down the line are we talking? And ballpark, what's the gross dwelling units per acre for this whole area when all is said and done?
We don't have any solid numbers right now. I think Terra Vesa, in terms of the overall dwelling units per acre, is going to be pretty similar to what we'll see here. And we have a handful of, we probably have one multifamily that gets us up into the 50 to 60 dwelling units per acre, but we're probably averaging more like 15, 16 dwelling units per acre across the whole development. I think that given the amount of open space, wetlands, and environmental corridor and stormwater through this site, we would be hard pressed to get much over the 15, 16 dwelling units at full build out, but maybe Phil has a different idea.
No, I don't. I think that's probably very close.
Okay, thank you. Final question, comment? Nope. Okay. All those in favor of resolution R-8026, say aye.
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 Any opposed? The motion carries.
And then-
Thank you. Thank you, Phil.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Yeah, finish out the report. We did a conditional use for the Wingra batch plant on McKee Road, across from the Aldi and the Hy-Vee area. They are going to continue doing concrete mixing and on that site for another couple of years, I believe. It's for the John Nolan project. They're basically mixing for that. So there's going to be 15 to 20 trucks per day. It's very similar amount of use to what it's been for the current, what we currently see. And then we also approved an ADR for 2113 Red Arrow Trail. This is a rental units. These are smaller multifamily buildings, 4 buildings in District 1. They renovated the inside of the units, and now they're renovating the outside, replacing the windows, replacing the siding, updating it, and improving the windows. There's about 100 units, 1 to 2 bedrooms. And we did an early issuance of permits for the Nesbitt Road multifamily project right across from Tenpin. That's the JT Klein project with 80 senior affordable and 100 market rate. And then staff gave a report. They're updating the agricultural code with some rezones to get ready for recertification, and that's really important for tax credits for our farmers that qualify for those. The comp plan and zoning RFPs have had strong responses. We had 9 proposals for the comp plan, and we had 8 for the zoning code. There'll be an interview soon, and expect that we'll have a consultant on board for both of the projects, which are separate, in 6 weeks. They'll start with the comp plan, and then the zoning code will be after. And they're bringing on an intern, the same one from last summer is coming back.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so next we move to the Board of Public Works.
I'll move approval of Resolution R 5426, approving purchase of salt for 2026-2027 season.
Second.
Public Works approved.
This
Finance approved.
Okay, what is this?
The city has $77,600 approved for salt purchase for 2026-2027. The state has not yet selected a vendor. Once they're selected and a price is set per pound or per ton, then our order will be placed pending city approval.
Okay, so we do this every year. So any question, comment? All those in favor of resolution R-5426 say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carried. Next one.
Move approval of Resolution R 5726, conditionally approving a holding tank permit for 2595 South Sain Road.
Second.
Public Works approved.
Alder Herbst. Yes. Sorry to interrupt. Can you clarify if this is moving approval as amended by
Oh, yes, this
Board
is
of Public
moving
Works?
approval as amended by Board of Public Works last night.
Can you tell us what is the amendment?
We removed the first whereas clause because it
Okay.
referred to something that is not related to this holding tank.
Okay.
The very first whereas clause is removed, Madam
Okay.
Mayor.
What is this? And then I have two people that they are here to answer question, but I don't know.
So Mr. Gervasi has requested a holding tank so he can restroom facility in his front construction building. He's requesting a 3,000 gallon tank. The county has looked at this. You know, this is the only option there. When they talked about it, they said they were thinking maybe 150 gallons a day would go into that. So it gives you an idea how long between how long it'd have to be pumped. And Public Works added a 5-year review of this permit.
Okay, so I have Mark Jones, who is registered in support and answer some questions, and Bill Nebo. He's also in support and answers questions. So that's it? Okay. Okay, so Tim, can you explain what we're trying to do here? I want to understand because my understanding was in the past that there was another use for this facility. They were planning, this was for what we're trying to do. I am confused. You have to come to the microphone.
Okay, that's on, right? Yep.
Yes.
His property has multiple buildings on it, manufacturing and storage of boats and trailers, and he has a golf cart business. You know, he's got quite a bit going on there, but there's one restroom way back up in his warehouse on the back part of his property. It makes it almost impossible for the front building that faces Sain to be anything than just a warehouse. And he wants to put some restrooms in, possibly eventually maybe there's a showroom for his golf carts or whatever. Okay. But people are on the bike path of which he granted the easement for to get the bike path for Fitchburg at no cost. Continually can come down to his property to use his restroom facility. And he's been very accommodating. He pumps his tank that he has right now with Dvorak out of Stoughton at his cost. And all he's saying is that the septic field is full, it cannot be increased, that he has. And this isn't setting a precedent on his lot. He already has a holding tank. And so for him to make his front building more usable other than what it is, he needs some restrooms put in. And to accommodate that, we need another holding tank. It's been approved by Dane County and Public Works. it's something that he's been working on for a while. And Mark Jones and I have kind of been with him all through this process, and we have all the documentations, as Dave Hertz has said, has been approved. So we'd like to see it move ahead because now's the time to do it. This spring coming up or whatever, so.
Okay, thank
Okay.
you. Yeah.
Right.
Any question, comments? No? Oh, who has question? Logan? Oh, okay.
Me again. Just one clarifying question. This should be not very visible above ground, correct? There'll either be a mound or it'll be pretty well below ground?
Mark, it's not going to be visible. It'll be all below ground. Yeah, it's all in ground. It's
All
already
below
been
ground.
designed, and you have the information right in your packet too.
Okay, perfect. I just wanted to make sure that was clear for the viewing public. And if it was above ground, I was going to say it'd be nice to have some screening, but that is a moot point. So that's all I had.
Okay. So here none. So I'm going to move to approval of resolution R5726
As amended.
as amended
As amended, yes.
by the board.
Board of Public Works. Yep.
I need a second.
There he was.
Oh, 1 second. Oh, okay. All those in a. Oh my God. All those in favor of resolution R5626 say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Sorry. A long day.
All
Yeah.
right, next.
Okay, next one.
I'll move approval of resolution R5826, approving the award of police services facility audio, video work.
Second.
Public Works approved.
Finance approved.
Okay, what is this?
So the police station, this was not included in our original police station facility, the money for this, but originally we went out for bid, we had engineers estimate, and it came in at, we only had one bidder, and it came in at twice the amount. They had $250,000, came in at $500,000, so we bid again, and we worked with the original vendor. We were able to get state prices, and they reviewed some things, and they were able to get it just a little under $400,000. Now, it's still above the engineer's estimate, but there were some scope added since then. The scope added was the crime scene room was added, from the initial, and so talking to Paul Woodard, and that $400,000 with the crime screen room would have been pretty close to what our engineer's estimate. So we're approving this purchase for I think it's $398,000.
How we are going to pay for this if it's not included in the original building?
It is included in the overall project, so it'll be paid for through borrowing with the project.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So it's going to be another $400,000 more.
No, it's included in the overall project budget. It just was not. It was not included in the construction bid for the project.
Okay, because it's like another.
Yeah. Yep.
It's not
Yep.
part of the construction. Construction
Correct.
is another
Yeah,
type
it's a
of
separate
like a
contract.
separate. Okay.
Yeah, Madam Mayor, they have to work with the construction contractor for now that once it's awarded, they have to work with them for conduits and things like that.
Okay.
fits together.
Any other question, comment? Logan?
Yeah, I'm just curious what the use will be for the dispatch room, where there's going to be 8 monitors and things like that. If we approve this, since we don't have a dispatchers in the city anymore, and since we outsource that to Dane County.
Yeah, it's my understanding that they're looking to the police department is looking to repurpose that into a real-time information center. That's where the displays would be implemented, and perhaps some software would be utilized for real-time information. So I think that Chief Morales may have met with council members to kind of explain the concept there, but that setup is included in this particular bid. So it does allow the city, the police department, to implement that solution should it ultimately be funded and approved.
Thank you.
Any other question, comments? No? Okay. All those in favor of resolution 5826, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Next one.
Move approval Resolution R5925, approving agreement for professional services for the design and construction administration of the Fitchburg City Hall and Community Center renovation project.
Second.
Public Works approved.
Finance approved.
Okay, what is this?
So we are hiring a firm, basically, for the design and to oversee the construction. This is the entire City Hall. As you recall, when we first were looking at this, we said, all right, the space that's being evacuated or being vacated by the police station, we were at a number of about 5 million. Now we're looking at doing renovations to all floors in the City Hall, making it more workable, and also rearranging the offices orientation in the community center. When this is done, only second floor on City Hall will be access to public. They won't be able to. Right now, the police station, they come in down below, and so when we're done, and this is a security enhancement, that only second floor will be upgraded. The cost on this, Bill, what was the whole project? Was it 10 to 12 million?
Correct, yeah.
Is kind of their estimate. The bid, it's a not to exceed for the design firm here. Our bid with them is a not to exceed fee.
So for you, when we're working through the CIP, you will see an increase on this project because we have, I think, budgeted $6 million. Well, this is what we budgeted a couple of years ago. Construction costs have been up 40% plus, So you're aware that you will see a change in the amount. So.
Yeah, Mayor, if I could add, the City Hall was built in 99.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're approaching 27 years.
Yeah.
I think citizens would agree it's time for the upgrade and the employee input. I think you've come up with, Chad, some functional design improvements for our building, plus the what we're going to do, moving things down into where the police station is
I don't
vacated.
think that the council have seen the rendering, isn't it? No.
No, our plan is through the CIP process
So they're
to
gonna
do
see
some additional education. And
yeah.
I certainly can't take credit for the concepts that have been there, Alder Herbst. That is O'Crowley 646 design. They're the experts on that. So, but I appreciate the shout out.
But she met with the staff and with,
Yeah, we've done a pretty extensive
yeah.
process to come up with the initial concepts for the entire City Hall. The design firm met with city staff, and then also within the last few weeks, a presentation was done that was available for all city staff to attend that outlined the conceptual changes that would be pursued if this project is ultimately approved. There was obviously an opportunity for any feedback to be shared too after that presentation. And we do have an internal work group working with the design team on this project as well, who has offered some feedback and some modifications.
Yeah, Mayor, I'd add, our former, respected city engineer, Paul Woodard, is working part-time, shepherding this. So I feel I have the utmost confidence in him, and I'm glad he's come back to help us, get through the police station and this part also.
Okay, any question? Bill, and then Logan.
Yeah, so I don't know the amount of stuff that's going to be torn out to be replaced, but is any of that going to be salvaged, sold for other people to use, part of the circular economy?
Yeah, we'll certainly look at like the office furniture and cubicles and see if there's an opportunity to put those through surplus auction so that those could potentially be utilized again. We'll explore our options there for any of the fixtures and those sorts of things for opportunities for recycling or upcycling or whatever the best use available for those is versus just an immediate off to the landfill.
Logan.
Yeah, I'm just curious, are we looking at borrowing for this 10 to 12 million, if that's kind of double what is currently in the CIP?
Yes.
Yes, this entire project would be borrowed.
It's capital.
Okay. As part of the design, will we be getting kind of multiple versions of this that say, if you want to spend $8 million, here's what it looks like. If you want to spend $12 million, here's what it looks like?
No.
Okay.
No, isn't it?
The mayor says it, sure. I think it'll depend obviously on what the CIP process bears out. If Common Council is comfortable with an updated budget that lands between 10 and 12 million and establishes that for the project, then that's what we'll look to do to make sure that we're within that budget. If Common Council says that there's a budgetary number that's different than that, lower, for instance, then we'll design the project for that.
It's going to be more inefficient, more costly in the future.
You're correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just trying to wrap my head around the process. So they'll design as if it's 10 to 12 million under the assumption that when we get to the CIP, we will have the discussion about how much we're going to spend?
I think they're designing according to the needs and the workflow. And this is how much it's going to cost. You know what I mean? This is what is the idea.
Yeah, and we'll be, as we chatted in finance about, a bit hard to believe, we'll be in the CIP process. I mean, we already have it going on internally with staff. Mayor Radafrada's CIP will come out in early June, I believe is the timing, and Common Council will already be, voting on the CIP by the end of July. So we're about 4 months from that, and there will be, plenty of initial work that can go on during that period of time that if for whatever reason there's a scope change necessary due to budgetary constraints, then, we can certainly pivot to that. But obviously, Mayor Radafrada and I have been in communication about this particular project. And as we've continued to refine the scope and look at what construction costs look like, obviously the number has changed and has increased significantly. As has been mentioned by a couple other folks to my right, this is a facility when we're talking about City Hall that's nearly 30 years old with, I want to give a huge kudos to our building maintenance team for the efforts and actions that they've taken to maintain this facility because it does look pretty well in the public areas in particular. There is a number of areas of deferred maintenance when we're looking at replacing carpet in workspace areas. It is notably worn and wrinkled in spots. Painting has been deferred as well, all with the understanding that the police department would be vacating the space and we would be looking to do a project that would set up this building for ideally the next 25 to 30 years and looking at what current design trends are in workspaces that make it ideally an inviting place that folks want to come to work. I'm not suggesting they don't now, but for any of you who have been behind the vestibule area or the reception area, it's a bit institutional. We're certainly looking to create an environment that has more natural light available for folks who don't have offices, looking to create workspaces with multiple different areas for folks to be able to work, looking to add more public meeting areas here on this main floor so that as we look to have public meetings, whether it's an open house or a public hearing, or an alder wants to come in and meet with a couple of constituents. There'll be those sorts of spaces that are available, and folks will only need to come in the main level here and be able to access those areas. And then, of course, there has been a scope change on this project to some extent. Looking, for instance, at the CIP project for the senior center kitchen remodel and expansion, we decided that it may make sense from an economy standpoint, instead of doing that project separately at some other point, to work with the contractors that would be doing this project. So that has been added into the project as well to try to capture some savings there by doing it at the same time. And then looking at improving the flow of the recreation area in the community center. Right now, the rec staff is kind of just tucked away as you walk into the right into an old space that wasn't really designed to be a workspace, and looking to make that more welcoming and evident that there are city staff there to assist folks coming in.
And also the municipal culture.
Yeah, there's all kinds of changes, like better accessibility for municipal court if folks are stepping in to make a payment on a citation, for instance, or a tax payment, and, again, looking at all of that workflow. So, again, we certainly recognize that the scope has increased and there's a corresponding increase in project cost. And it is definitely something that we're cognizant of, and we'll look to make sure that, we're not looking to design a workspace similar to privately held companies.
No castles.
But we want to. We definitely want to make sure that we have a welcoming space for visitors to City Hall and those who work in City Hall. And again, if anybody has any initial questions or want to, see some of the preliminary concepts, I'm happy to set up some time and we can look to do that. And of course, we'll talk about it in more depth during the CIP process as well.
Yeah. I just appreciate that because I had a number in my head and this number's double that. So I just wanted to kind of get a sense of why that is. And so you answered my questions. Thank you.
Alder Ragsted, Bill and I at Public Works the other night, we were having a little bit of a discussion. A lot of times these projects, there's kind of benchmarks for how much the consultant, it's a brand new facility or a remodel, what percentage the consultant. And what you don't want to get into is that the consultant's fee is based on what the total project is, because then they can gold plate it essentially. And so Bill asked that question and we talked about it, and Paul said, no, this is a fixed price contract with the consultant for the design and the construction administration.
Okay.
I think when the number was initially put into the CIP,
It's only was for the police.
exactly, it was basically the police are moving out. Let's renovate the police area, and it's since expanded to the entire City Hall plus a portion of the community center.
And I will also add that this space will be created in such a way that it will accommodate additional staff to be added over the years. All of the floors, if my recollection serves me correctly, will have space available so that we can, expand over time without having to alter any of the building exterior through an addition or even through moving of any walls or anything like that. I think, again, once we get into more deeply into the CIP process, or again, if anybody wants to sit down, I'm happy to set up a time to take a look at it.
There are like a lot of spaces that we are not using, like that hallway there, you know what I mean? And we are going to make the chamber more secure too, you know what I mean? So. Okay, so all those in favor of resolution R-5926 say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Next one.
Next we have, I got a page down here, I'm sorry. Didn't bring my glasses. So you have resolution R-6125 approving agreement for subdivision improvements in the plat of 5th addition to Terra Vesa.
Second.
Public Works approved.
Plan Commission approved.
Okay, what is
Some
this?
kind of standard subdivision agreement. The question was asked about Public Works. Is this the 5th edition? Are we done? And in this section there is, but there's a phase 2 that will be more. So this isn't the last subdivision agreement you're going to see for Terra Vesa. There's kind of another phase.
Okay, any question, comments? This is very standard.
Well, I have a quick question. I believe this officially extends Lacey Road from the east end of the city to the west end of the city.
Yeah.
Is that correct? Very nice. Cool.
Yeah. What is to the town of Dan? Is that what? Yeah. Okay. All those in favor of resolution R-6126, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. So next one.
Next, I move deferral of resolution R-6326 to a date uncertain due to the city of Oregon needing to get some clarification at their end on details.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor of postponing this resolution to when?
To a date uncertain.
Date
To a day
uncertain.
uncertain, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Okay, anything else that you want to add for the Board of Public
Yes,
Works? Okay.
our sidewalk replacement project, will be bidding that shortly. And we talked about the Fitch-Rona Road, and I think that was it. Bill, did you have anything else?
I think the resurfacing got referred out tonight.
Yeah, the resurfacing got referred out. Yeah, thank you. And we asked about the vacuum truck, or the street sweeper. And there were a lot of leaves from last fall because the leaves dropped late in the snow. And Mark Hoddle said since they've been out, they've collected 283 cubic yards of debris off the streets. Now, some of that with this last windstorm might have accelerated that some, but it's quite a bit, 23 dump trucks, and that gets landfilled.
Okay.
That's all I had, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. So next we move to Park Commission.
So our meeting, Parks Commission meeting next week is on Thursday, and we'll be, among other things, we're going to talk about the 4th of July celebration, see if there's brainstorm. I would add, I'll take some blame for this. We're coming to this a little late. It'd be hard to get fireworks or things like that lined up, but I think we have some ideas for some nice things for our 250th anniversary celebration. Madam Mayor has given us some. We continue to have a few more, and send a note after the Parks meeting. Any of you have more ideas, let us know.
Okay. Thank you. Library Board.
Yes, so at our last meeting, we reviewed and approved several library policies. They were very minor updates. We also reviewed and approved the annual report that we sent to the Department of Public Instruction. As Chad mentioned, between April 13th and 15th, possibly the 16th, we'll be migrating from LinkCat to the new South Central software. So there'll be online or offline circulation. So if you're planning to check out books, you'll need to have your physical library card for those couple days. And the building will be closed on the 14th for staff training. It'll be a lot nicer system on the other end, but a couple days of bumps. On the other end of that as well, something more exciting, to celebrate the library's 15th birthday, the much-loved Books and Brews Birthday Bash is returning on June 27th. So keep your calendars free and look for more information. That will be there'll be some different breweries that will be bringing in different things to, not for the kids, but as a fundraiser and as a celebration, you'll buy tickets and be able to kind of sample some local brews and things like that. Yes.
Really?
So apparently it was done many years ago and was very popular. So keep your calendars clear, June 27th.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Laura. Commission of Aging Well, Donald is not here. Resource Conservation Commission.
Yes, we have not met since the last council meeting, and we won't meet again until May. We have 10 meetings per year, and April is one of them that we don't do.
Okay.
But I do have a couple of reminders. So the paper and electronics recycling is Saturday, April 11th from 8 to 11 a.m. Here on City Hall campus. The waterway cleanup will be 1 week after that from 9 to 11. You can choose to go to Dunn's Marsh, Quarry Hill, Swan Creek, or Yarmouth Greenway.
Okay. Can you explain for the people that are listening? So where do volunteers need to go? To those places? At what time?
Correct. Yeah. And feel free to reach out to anyone on the RCC for more information
They don't know who they are.
For specific locations where everybody's going to meet.
Okay. Can you?
If you search Fitchburg waterway cleanup, it
Can
shows
they
up
want to
online.
put like a, yes, but where in the? Okay. Are we planning to do any promotion so people can,
I believe I think I got a notify me message about it, and
I didn't get it.
probably on social media as well.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been posted on the city's website on the Notify Me, the news flash, and I believe I've seen some Facebook events as well
Oh, really?
posted by the city.
Oh, okay. Okay. Good to know. Okay.
And after you clean up the waterway, you can head over to Hastahochi. The 4th annual Eco Latinos Bilingual Environmental Conservation Fair will be taking place from noon to 4 p.m. And one more reminder that at our drop-off site, there's that new white dumpster, and that accepts not only block polystyrene, but also packing peanuts and plastic films such as plastic bags that you get at the grocery store, bubble wrap, various plastic mailers, etc. So those items can be taken to the drop-off site, but they are not accepted curbside.
Oh, okay. Okay. Good to know. Okay. Thank you. TTC,
No report.
Community and Economic Development Authority.
Our next meeting is this Thursday in the morning.
Thank you. Agricultural and Rural Affairs Committee.
Yeah, we met on Tuesday the 17th. We discussed some zoning updates for the exclusive ag zoning. This is needed to update our certification with the state. And so that certification with the state, along with our AX zoning, allows people in farmland preservation districts to receive tax credits from the state. So we just have to update the map and the zoning this year. And so we will likely see a few zoning changes. They'll be pretty minor to the AX zoning over the next couple months. We also discussed zoning and rule changes around farm and non-farm residences in AX zoning. That discussion, that was kind of just teeing up additional discussion that's going to happen around the comp plan and the zoning code update in terms of where ag and rural is going to have to be involved.
Okay, good to know. Thank you. Bicycle and Pedestrian Commission.
Our next meeting is April 1st. Also, I know there's been some buzz in the community about a death that occurred on the 23rd, yesterday. A cyclist was struck to death on 5500 East Sherrill Parkway, and it appears that it was a intentional action by the part of the driver, but when he left the road. So there's a news flash about it on the city's website, and more details are coming.
Thank you. EMS Commission.
Our meeting was canceled last week, but to highlight some of the March things, they had about 450 calls. Fitchburg continues to be about 2/3 of the total call volume. The police department and the fire department got CPR recertified, and Mandy Hollis celebrated 5 years with Fitchburg EMS.
Okay.
That's what I got for you.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Healthy Neighborhood Advisory Committee. Donald is not here, but I know that they're working through the grant application. Housing Advisory Committee.
Just a note that CEDA meeting this Thursday, March 26th, will be looking at the housing action plan.
Thank you. Okay, Landmarks Preservation Commission.
No report.
Oh my God. Tree Advisory Committee.
Yeah, we met Thursday, March 12th. We did a final review of the Urban Forestry Management Plan, which was referred out tonight. There will be an Arbor Day proclamation at the next council meeting. And then the Arbor Day celebrations are set. So Friday, the 24th of April, will be at Chicory Meadows Park. And then Saturday, the 25th, will be at Western Hills Park for tree planting.
Where is that park?
Western Hills is on Whitney Way, just
It's in
Yeah.
District 1.
Ah, okay,
It's off of,
Whitney Way.
By
and
Raymond
Williamsburg.
Road.
Williamsburg.
Yeah. It has the cool basketball court.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay,
Tree.
thank you. Community and Equity Advisory Committee, no report. A report from other commission and committees, no report. And then we're moving to a standing committee report, and we are going to start with Finance Committee.
I'm sorry. I'll start with a quick report. The audit field work is complete, and the report will be at the June 9th Finance Committee meeting. And then I will move on to our resolution. I'll move approval of Resolution R5626, amending the 2026 budget for various funds, 2025 carryovers.
Second.
Finance Committee approved this. This is a standard we do every year. We have specific guidelines in place that specify what is allowed to be carried over from one budget year to the next. Most of this is project related, related to TIDs and long-term road projects, things of that nature. But there's a very detailed list in the agenda packet that lists out every single thing. It is pretty extensive, even though there is criteria to make a thing move forward. But yeah, we stay in good standing with Moody's, which is why we have a AAA bond rating. And this is one of the strategies, is making sure we're careful about what we carry over year to year.
Okay. Any question, comments? All those in favor? Two-thirds. So we need to do roll call.
Thank you, Mayor. Alder Gerhardt.
Aye.
Alder Herps.
Aye.
Alder Jetzer.
Aye.
Alder Latase.
Aye.
Alder Lepper.
Aye.
Alder Maldonado.
Aye.
Alder Reichstad.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Personnel Committee,
Next meeting is April 8th.
Public Safety and Human Services.
Just a few, few activities coming on. I want to mention the Eco Latino Conservation meeting at Hosta Hochi. And there's a new owner for La Concha that we approved their liquor license transfers today.
Thank you. Okay, we don't have anything from item 10, unfinished business. So we move to new business. We don't have anything. So we move to other district report, and we will start with District 1.
As Micah mentioned, that we're having on the 25th at Western Hills Arbor Day celebration. Please come. It's a fun day. One of our new businesses that's finished up, Blue Plate Catering, is kind of open up. They are having fish fries on Friday. On Saturday, April 4th, for Easter, our Allied Drive Duns Marsh Neighborhood Association is having a Easter egg hunt in the Belmar Park next to the back of the Boys and Girls Club. And then at the same time, we're having our bike giveaway sponsored by the Friends of Fitchburg Parks, Allied Drive, Duns Marsh Neighborhood Association, Bike Fitchburg, and Bikes for Kids Wisconsin. We're distributing 80 bikes. And if you know people that need their bikes, minor repairs, we're going to have 3 mechanics. A lot of times they're maybe not that busy. So if you know people in the area, they can bring them over and get some minor repairs done. You'll find most of the bikes that we distribute in April here, by late August, they have a flat tire, or they don't work, and the kids are incapable of repairing them. So kids that have those bikes, bring them over, and we'll get them tuned up also.
So when is that? April
4th. April 4th. The bike giveaway is 11 to 1.
Okay.
And the Easter egg hunt, I believe, is 12 to 2.
Okay.
We kind of organize chaos there, stuff back and forth. It should be fun.
No, thank you. Joe, do you have anything to add?
Nothing to add.
No? Bill?
B-Cycle open for the season, just in time for the biggest snowfall of the season. So I rode tonight to City Hall on a B-Cycle. I was at the Madison Reading Project ribbon cutting, as well as and I should say, one of the photos that was taken from there, in the foreground, you can see a shelf labeled realistic fiction, and I feel like sometimes we might be living in fiction. Also at the Fairway Lounge ribbon cutting, in addition to their golf simulators, they've got a couple of living room spaces there with comfy chairs and tables, so you can meet with friends, enjoy some pizza and drinks. Some reminders, the month of April is the round trip spring roll challenge. I won't say too much about that because we'll hear more about it tomorrow night at the committee of the whole meeting. Also starting April 1st, but going through September 30th is Bike the Berg. So you're encouraged to sign up at the chamber website for that, order a t-shirt if you like, track your miles as you ride 150 miles or more over the course of the summer. I mentioned it already, the paper and electronics recycling, Saturday, April 11th. I will let Micah and Jake tell you about the safe gun disposal taking place that same day. And waterway cleanup was also mentioned, Saturday, April 18th, followed by the bilingual environmental conservation fair.
Can you send us an email with that so I can
Sure.
put it on my calendar because I'm going to forget.
And one more thing I'll point out is that Sustain Dane and MG&E are partnering to do a 4-part mini course on home energy efficiency and electrification. So that'll be 4 Tuesdays between May and September. I think the only one that collides with a council meeting is the one in September. But if you're thinking about ditching gas in favor of a heat pump, this would be the course for you.
Okay, thank you. Gabriela?
District 2's been busy, so congrats to Madison Reading Project and Fairways Lounge for opening. And then since we didn't have a Community Aging Well report, just wanted to mention the Senior Center Pancake Breakfast date has been announced. That's going to be April 19th, which is a Saturday,
And they're looking for
8 a.m.
volunteers.
to noon. It's a Sunday. Thank you. Sunday, April 19th, 8 a.m. to noon. Adults are $10. Kids are $5 at the Senior Center. It's always a great event. And I believe they're still looking for some volunteers. Thanks.
Thank you. District 3.
All right. Alder Maldonado already mentioned the fatal hit and run yesterday. I just wanted to express gratitude to the first responders who were out there for 10 plus hours with Sherrill Parkway closed through the evening rush hour last night, so a long day for them. We also got an update on an arrest made in the homicide that happened a couple days before Christmas in the Southdale neighborhood. So just some more kudos to our police department for making an arrest there. Alder Ladise and Mayor Radafrada and I went to a neighborhood meeting last night about a proposed minor comprehensive plan amendment for a townhouse development at the corner of Lacey and Fahey. That would be kind of the southeast corner of that roundabout. Heard quite a bit of feedback there that I assume the developer will take back and refine in future iterations as that comes before this body and the Plan Commission for the comp plan amendment and other future approvals if it gets to that point. Also want to just put out a quick reminder that I'm having another coffee and chat at Finca Coffee this Saturday, March 28th from 10:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. So come on by if you want to chat about anything that's going on in the city. And then lastly, if I can take a moment of personal privilege, I just wanted to give a plug to a couple local businesses. I was able to do an early birthday celebration for myself on Friday because tomorrow is my birthday, so we'll have cookies tomorrow. Everyone come hungry. But I finally got to Zafferano, which is in kind of the second floor of the Wyndham Garden Hotel, and it is fantastic. Not only was the dish that I had amazing, but everything else smelled great too. So I want to give a plug to, if you haven't been there, it's worth the trip for sure. And another favorite of mine, Atomic Koi. So just another plug to support your local businesses. And if you want to bike there, you can take a B-cycle, which I did, as Mayor Radafrada can prove. She saw me at a stoplight. I had to be on my best behavior while biking, but wanted to put some good energy out there for these local businesses that are continuing to do great things for our city.
Thank you, Logan.
All right, I'll skip everything that people have already said. I went with Anna Healy, the city forester, and a resident in the Greenfield neighborhood, and did a tour of the Gold Edition Park in the Greenfield neighborhood, which is a very much falls into the urban forestry plan type of thing we're talking about. This is an area that over the last few years has gotten a lot more flooded with just the change in the water that's going down there. It was pretty passable today, but it's beautiful back there, and it was really interesting to learn kind of some of the history back there and what is currently going on there, what it looked like in the past, and what it could, possibly we would need to do in the future there. I wanted to speak. I've gotten a lot of questions about TDS in the Seminole Forest neighborhood. So they are installing fiber. Well, they're installing fiber all over the city, but they are currently in the Seminole Forest neighborhood. And so there's a lot of questions about what they're allowed to do and what they're not allowed to do. And I, spoke with staff, and from what I understand, TDS is allowed to basically do whatever they want in the easement of the utilities. There is generally actually no notification requirement that they are required to do in terms of letting people know that they're going to be there. We, as far as I know, encourage them to notify residents prior to doing work. The one thing that they are required to do is restore all of the holes and everything after it is all over. And so if people are finding that things are not being restored, please reach out to us so we can reach out to them.
I have a phone number.
They also, they have a phone number. They are putting up door cards sometimes. So so we can distribute the phone number too, that you can put in a ticket with them. I would, it would be nice to be able to communicate people when this is happening. I understand the hesitancy of the city becoming the communication service for a private company that's installing fiber in neighborhoods. So we can think about how a good way to communicate to people that this is happening. One good way is if you see 5 million flags in your yard, that's probably a good sign that they're coming.
Those aren't tulips coming up through the grass?
So that's one good way. But if you have questions about TDS, please feel free to reach out to me.
I am surprised because last year they went through my neighborhood last summer, but they notified us several times. We have like a lot of information coming before they came to our backyards. But so I want to tell you, I am surprised that they haven't notified the neighbors now because they did it last year.
It's tough to get a read on the whole story. What's happening? A lot of neighbors saying that they received letters last fall, and then TDS says, well, there could be weather delays, but apparently all winter was a weather delay, which is, that's a long weather delay. But so hopefully in the future too, we can, work with them to better communicate things. And then lastly, I just want to say on April 25th at Sugar Creek Elementary School, which is in Verona, but there's definitely Fitchburg residents that go there. And then other kids in the Verona School District, they are having a free vaccine clinic for anyone that is on Badger Care or does not have insurance. So there are details on the Dane County Madison Public Health website. And lastly, Thursday this week, grass is green, the sky is blue. It's opening day of baseball season. Congratulations to everyone.
Baseball what?
It's opening day of baseball season.
What is baseball?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Okay.
Go watch your soccer.
Jake.
I just have two things. The Guns to Gardens thing, now that Alder Jetzer knows what staying in his turf. So if you have any firearms that you need to get rid of or that you inherited and they've just been sitting in a closet, and you can bring them to the Memorial United Church, and I'll be there the whole time volunteering. Great event, and then they will turn the
Which
firearms. April 11th, sorry. April 11th from 9 to noon, right, Micah? Yeah.
Yes, the same time as the recycling drop-off event.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And they will turn them into gardening tools right there. So, and then tomorrow there's an event at Fire Station 1 about the fire department getting soy-based firefighting foam.
Oh, it's tomorrow.
It was. I went there today, and then I found out it was moved to tomorrow. So, but
it's tomorrow.
I got the notification that it was today, so I went there today. But apparently it's tomorrow. So.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
But yeah, it's super cool. New technology,
Yeah, yeah.
supports Wisconsin agriculture,
Yeah, yeah.
and it also has no PFAS, which the current firefighting foam is very bad for the earth. So, cool thing that they're bringing to Fitchburg to pilot. So, that's all
And
I have.
also there is the Red Cross has a blood, what is it? Blood drive. I saw that at Oak Bank and the Fitchburg Center in April.
Tri-North, yeah, Tri-North usually hosts
No,
one.
it's Senior Center.
Oh, this is Senior Center?
Yeah, so
Oh,
this is what if you know, please share that. Okay. So anything else? That's it? Okay.
I had forgotten this, somewhat, well, unfortunate news, but Sunday morning at 5 in the morning, there was shooting, Chapel Valley and Red Arrow, and it was a higher caliber handgun, a lot of shots. No one was hit. They haven't found anything that was hit. The police investigated, but I want to pass that along if anyone. Carol Poole woke her up. She thought she was dreaming.
Oh, really?
It was close.
Maybe
But
it was-
people from more than a mile away called and asked me about it. That heard it. It must have been the sound carried.
Yeah.
Or people had their windows open the
Yeah.
first day. So if you get asked.
Okay. Okay. Any other announcement? We have a committee of the whole tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow we're meeting at 6:30 p.m. We'll be getting a presentation from Round Trip, which is an organization that supports bus transit. Be fun to see what they do, find out more about the organization, and then also we will have a transportation update from our Public Works Department.
Thank you. And next Common Council meeting, the last one from this council, will be April 14, 2026. And I need a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second.
All those in favor of adjourning this meeting at 8:35, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carried. So early.